How are you doing today? I hope you are having the most fantastic day that you ever had. And you treat this day like it's the last day of your life. You go out there and do and think what you're going to do and be proud of what you do. Don't worry about what everybody else thinks. You need to worry about you. Don't worry about at times what your family thinks. There's people in our family that put us down because jealousy, you have to think, what are they really talking about? Why are you saying stuff like this? People do. They're jealous. They want to get most of the time where you want to get and you don't realize it. You may be doing quite well and you just don't know it because you may not think about it. People think their family can't be jealous. We had family members, I told you, my uncle, we never realized, but he was jealous of my mom and dad getting into another house, buying another house, getting new cars. And then we realized we were just kind of sitting there talking about why would he be this way? And then it hit us like light bulbs. We all looked at each other. He's jealous. Even though my family wasn't thinking about it. The rest of the family wasn't even thinking about it. And they said, he's jealous. And I was pinpointing. I said, look what you've done. You've come from a shack, a wooden shack my mom did. Where they built houses with wood. Had one bedroom in the front. That's 2 beds were in the front, in the living room with the fireplace. It was Little House on the Prairie had better than what they had. And then, because they're still down there, those houses. And then there's another bedroom in the back. And then there was a kitchen. It was a 3-bedroom shack, and they built a porch, and they were happy though. They were happy. That's the thing about it. They were positive. They were happy. But they had come to the point when my mom and dad got married that they were moving on. They had built the house. My father was more well off than my mother was. He came from an upper middle class family, totally different. But my mom didn't think she was poor. She never said, she said, I wasn't poor. I had whatever they gave us. We had a great life. But other people would think they were poor. But they came up here, they bought houses, they bought cars. They got good jobs. They forged a way when people would be name calling them out their name. Telling my mother she was ugly just for no reason. You're ugly. But she forged on. I heard her one time say she was ugly. Just sitting there in the kitchen. And I told her, I said, I don't know how that can be because I look like you, so we're both ugly together. And she started laughing. That was the end of that. Okay, don't worry about it. I look more like her than my dad. I have my dad's eyes. But the rest of me is my mom. But all that trauma, you get trauma from that. And you feel bad. And I told them, I said, look what you have done for me. You have made me forge on. You continue on. My kids are continuing on. My kids are even saying, oh, we'll be working until we die. We'll probably fall out at the place. They've got that goal, that mindset. I've got that goal and mindset. It's like, I don't care how much money I'm making, I'm going to keep going. I'm like them. I'm going to be working until I'm gone. You'll probably fall out at the place, coming around the corner. Driving, we hope we don't have an accident, or we're in our chair after we get off of work and probably going off to glory land that way. We had that different mindset that if you have too much money, you start giving to charity, you start giving to people, and even if you don't have a lot of money, that's your positivity going out. You give $1 there, 50 cents here, whatever. My mother doesn't tithe. My family doesn't tithe. My mom goes in the church. She gives them $3. Still to this day, it was always $3. It was the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. That's it. She didn't care. She was like, I give my money to other people that don't have anything out here. She would. When she would go out, somebody couldn't pay for groceries in front of her, she would pay for the groceries. She always had extra money tucked in. Or a man was sitting on the ground somewhere. I remember her walking over there just silently and handing him some money in a cup. He had a cup sitting there. She wasn't worried about they were scamming. Oh, they probably scamming and going around the corner. She said, that's their business. She said, the Lord sees what he sees, and I did my good deed for the day, and I'm moving on. But we do have to watch scammers. She will tell you that. You do have to watch them. But we have to worry about our needs and our wants. There's stuff we want. There's stuff I want. I want a new house. I want another car. When I bought my son's car, we paid cash for it. He had saved up his money right quick because he wanted a car. I was driving. He says, you don't need to keep driving me. I got to get a car. So we got the car. He paid me back. Okay, I want a house. I want a car. I want whatever I want. But I'm very aware of the needs. I need to take care of the house I got. I need to take care of the car, the maintenance on the house. I need to pay off 2 more bills, the hospital and Verizon. I need to make sure I got money in the bank and investments in the bank. I need to make sure these 4 walls are still here, that I am paying for them. And you have wants. Yeah, I want a new house. I could easily go right now. My finances are straight right now. Okay, they're totally straight. All my credit cards are paid off. I have new credit cards that are bigger than the old credit cards to take care of whatever. Okay, my credit score is up. I could go get another house. I could go get another loan. And just say, okay, let's go. I only want to do that if I have to. I want that house paid off when I walk in it. When I have the key in my hand, I want to be able to say, it's no mortgage company owns my house with me. They can't take this away. That's what I want to have. Okay, and I have to work for it. I have to save the money and figure it out. And I'm not saying, I change my mind sometimes. I may get close to that house payment and go, okay, I like that house, so I'm just gonna go get a mortgage, maybe $200,000. That's probably about my limit if I really had to go get a mortgage to pay off for the house. That's my limit. This house is helping to pay the other house, and then I may get a $200,000 mortgage. That's really pushing it for me anymore. I don't want a big mortgage because I'm going to be busy paying off that mortgage very quickly this time. I'm not going to sit there. I'm going to be starting off the first day I sign those papers, figuring out probably before that, how am I getting out of this really quick in 2 or 3 years? I'm paying it off in 2 or 3 years, or 2 if I can get it. But see, that's a want. That house is a want. I have what I need. I have a house. I got 4 walls. I got the bedrooms. I got the neighborhood. I got the car. I don't need a car right now. It's time for its maintenance. That's it. I don't need it right now. So I'm not going to go out there and buy a car just because I want it. Yeah, I want it. I want another car. I'm not doing it. I'm going to pay off that car, and then I'll think about it as I'm thinking about this house. Like, how much debt am I getting into? I don't want a whole lot of debt anymore. Okay, something's got to get paid off first. If I go get another car, I want to pay cash for that car and not have it hooked on that I got to pay this house and that car. But there's things that I need to do, and I'm well aware of what I need to do. I want these two bills gone. Verizon devices, that's what that is, and my hospital bill. I want it gone. I want, we have basic things we have to pay for, like insurances and, internet and stuff. I want those on a subscription. Now, it's not a need right now, but that's what I want. So that I'm only paying like once a year. I want them all on there. And some of you have to be well aware of your needs and wants. Sometimes we cry. You're going to cry because you're going to see something you want and you can't get it. And you're going to resort to either getting a loan, any type of loan, a payday loan, a shark loan, predatory, whatever, to get it. You may want something that's $9,000. They have loans for bad credit. Out you go. You just took one at 450%? I saw one at 450% for $9,000. That's a lot of interest. That's a big payment next month. Or they make them little payments and keep you on the hook for years. On some loans for predators, you borrow $800, you got to pay $2,000 back for that $800. And they just get people who can't get a regular loan. And, the government has got down on them. There's some places they turn into installment loans. They're still a predator. If they're above 13%, they're really predatory. If you can't pay that off fast, or you look in there and you see how many payments you got to make versus how many months, you're in trouble. They've got another one that's $4,000. They're charging $600 a month. You would think after at least 8 months it would be paid off. No, it's not paid off in 8 months. They got years recorded on that thing just for paying $600. And then because they're only putting $97 toward that loan. Can you imagine you're paying $600 and they're only putting $97 because you wanted it? You just had to have it. I got to have it right now. I can get rid of it, and you don't get rid of it. You wind up in debt because you couldn't afford it in the first place, or you wouldn't be there. Or you don't know how to get out of it and work it to your advantage, which is mostly 90% of the people all the time. Some people can get predatory loans and actually use them to their advantage because they use it to pay off the debt, and then they turn around and start working on that loan way before time. And they've also looking to make sure that loan, can I pay it ahead of time without you penalizing me? I got a friend who's good at that. Okay, he'll go get a predatory loan. One was $4,000 he needed for his child for schooling, for college. He was $4,000 short. He got a predatory loan, took it, paid the child's thing, and then he started in on that predatory loan that was supposed to be going for years. And he started off, he had it paid off in 2 months. They didn't get what they thought they were going to get. See, some people know how to work that system. But most of the people, you don't know how to do that. You don't have the funds to do that right quick. He was unable to get a regular loan, which is what happens. The people who are low income or don't have the funds, even middle class, that's where they go. They won't loan them. The banks won't, no, we can't loan you any money. Your credit score is not up. It's some excuse all the time. You got too many credit cards. You don't have enough credit cards. So what they do, that's how to keep the low income people and some of the low middle class and even some of the higher ones are in their place. You are not going to get to the place that we are at. So we're not loaning you. The banks are not loaning you any money. You can be at the bank for years. You go in there now if you are low income and your finances are astray, and try to ask for debt consolidation. And it's real simple, which is so crazy, is give them a loan to pay off all their debt. And then they pay you. What's so hard about this? But it's like, oh no, we can't do that. We can't give you a loan. You got too much debt. That's why it was called debt consolidation. Help them pay off that debt so they can get a higher credit score. No, the banks don't want to. You're stepping up. It's not arranged that way. We're not worried about you. They're not thinking about you. Okay? Try to go into your bank and you're having trouble. No, not right now. Nope. Even with credit cards. You know, there's credit cards that you have to put cash on just to get the card. Which is fine if you're building your credit, but some of those cards don't have high credit limits. They keep you right there where you're at. Here's a $300 credit limit. That's okay for a minute, but if you keep watching that card and you've got your expenses, everything's okay, and after 6 months and you've been paying faithfully every month and it's not late, in 6 months they should be doing a credit review. Even if they gave you $50 more that month. Maybe you got a $300 card and it's $50 more. They did, at least you're going up. But if they don't do a credit review and you don't hear anything and they come with this lame excuse, they're not going to give you anything. They want to keep you right there with that high interest rate. Some of them are 35%. And you don't have anywhere to go. You are stuck at that $300. Let me tell you, $300 can go so fast once you put gas in the car. If you take your kids, they need stuff, you need things. You go to the store, you go to Target, you go to Costco, that $300 is gone. Plus, they're going to complain on your credit report that your debt ratio is way above where it's supposed to be, because credit cards, you're supposed to have 10, 20, 30% of that credit card. Okay, so you just went way over. 10% of $300 is $30. That's all that's the lowest and the best rate for you to have on that card. You're not supposed to spend above that to have a good rate, and you're really building your credit. You can go up to 30%. That would have been $90 on that credit card. You've already overspent, and then you may look at the card and you may not have enough money to pay it, so what are you going to do? You're paying the minimum. And then they got the nerve to tell you how many years it's going to be to pay off, because they've gotten you down at that limit. Yes, some people, they do need to build up their credit. They do need to learn what to do. But you got to be diligent and you got to pay attention to your cards. It's like, where do we go from here? Do you go up, or you just sit here at $300 for the rest of your life? And some people can't handle beyond $300. Some people cannot do it. Maybe they need $300. But if you're not one of those and you want a bigger limit to take care of your family and whatever, that's what you need to be working for, and not going toward those predatory credit cards. They're like predatory lenders. If you don't know how to handle it, leave them alone. Because there are other credit cards, they will give you a better limit. You know, there's some, you can tell them what your limit is. How much, they'll tell you, how much do you want to put on this card? Okay, secured. It's called a secured card, right? And you put, okay, I got $1,500. Okay, that's your credit limit. And they hold that $1,500. Now on your end, it's not their fault. You have to pay on time. You have to be on time. And some of them forgive you. They'll wait. You know, maybe you'll mess up. But some of them got to be on time, whatever. But that $1,500, it's just secured as your limit. They still got it. And then eventually they turn your card into a regular card and they refund maybe your $1,500 or $800 or whatever later on. They're working with you to do that. They do have cards like that. There are cards, like I said, they're predatory. They will take your money and walk off. So I always tell you, find a credit card that's on the up and up, up and up, Chase, Capital, PNC, those types of things. They're on the up and up, not them little ones we don't know anything about. Like, who are you? No. Or that tell you up in front, okay, you're at $300. If you keep this going in 6 months, we're gonna up your credit line. Those that come straight out, boom. But if they don't come straight out, leave them alone. And it's time for people to stop fussing about the needs and the want. Yes, it's upsetting when you can't get something that you want. It's very upsetting. I've been in that for forever. It's been cars, it's been houses, it's been clothes, it's been shoes, it's been backpacks, whatever you want, furniture, and you can't afford it. And you wind up either financing it or you don't get it. I'm not getting in that position anymore. If I don't have it, I'm not getting it. Okay, you just have to stay there. That's cute. I'm either going to start working on it, saving for it, or leaving it alone. Okay, hit and miss. There's something better. My family always tell me, if you don't get it, it's something better. Something better is going to come along. It's like a computer. If that computer comes out and it's the #1 computer in the world and you can't afford it, something better is coming along. And especially with computers, it's like the next day. It's like cell phones. It's the next time. It's coming better. I remember when iPhone was going, I got to have that iPhone. Oh, the iPhone. People were going debt to get that iPhone. And now, look at it. It comes out about every year. There's something better coming along. I haven't changed my iPhone in about 2 years. I'm like, that's nice. I don't want it right now. And they said, why don't you up your iPhone? Verizon sent it. I don't need it. Mine's working just fine. I'm happy with my iPhone. Okay, I paid quite a bit for this iPhone. I don't need the next best thing right now. It's not doing me any good. I don't want it. It's doing the best it can. I said, now if it dies on me, I'll go to the next one. But right now, none of our phones are moving anywhere. They're doing great. So needs versus wants. That's all you got to worry about. Your finances will be fine if you realize, is it a need or do I just want it? I want it right now. I got to look good for that party. I got to be the bridesmaid at the thing. You don't have to be the bridesmaid. If you don't have the clothes for it, or the bride is telling you buy your clothes, which I still have not got together yet, but anyway, because I bought all my clothes for all my bridesmaids. They were not put out. I figured this is my wedding and they don't need to be paying for anything at my wedding. We don't work that way. And we also don't work with the bride paying for everything. It's half and half. You want to get married too? I remember my dad saying, if you want her, you pay, you put in. If you don't, you're not getting her. That was precisely what the conversation was. It's half and half. He says half and half after you get married. He said, are we paying for the whole wedding? He says, I've never heard of anything in my life till I got to America. He said, what? Why are we doing this? He said, I'm not doing it. I'll pay half. You pay half, or you don't want her. You're not getting her. I refuse. And we've been that way the whole time. That's the way we work. He said, and I'm like him. I don't know where the idea came from. It probably came from years ago. I don't know, but it's like, he said, we're changing the rules up in this house. No. And the same thing with my daughter. Put up or shut up. Bye. You know, my son gets married, I'll pay half. I will sit there, okay, I'll pay half, you pay half. Let's go half. Instead of one side paying for it. Of course, there's bride and grooms, they pay themselves. They work together to do the wedding, what they want to do with it. That's good too. They were working together. They're still half. It's our debt. But I think it works well because you don't have this, there's a slight animosity. And I've heard people, you know, we had to pay for the whole wedding. We didn't even have the money. We had to go get a loan. And some of them are still paying the father and mother for the loan. I'm like, not fair, not doing it. I agree with my dad on that one. And a few other things. But get your needs and your wants together. Need, want. One starts with an N, one starts with a W. N comes before W. Needs first. Have a lovely day. Take care of yourself. Adios.